American senators have announced a bipartisan framework for limited curbs on firearms. The move falls short of stronger steps sought by President Joe Biden and many Democrats. But with new Republican support, it would break a stalemate in Congress that has lasted for years, despite mass killings and giant protests. The renewed push for gun control comes after a teenager shot dead 19 school children and 2 teachers in a Texas elementary school last month. And for more on this, let's go straight to Washington to DW Sumi Somaskanda. Sumi, a deal in the Senate on gun law reform. What does that look like?
Yeah, Nick, this deal would do a few things. I'll take you through what was agreed upon now. It would provide money to states to implement red flag laws. These are laws that allow officials to remove guns from someone who's considered a risk. And these laws already exist in 19 states and in the District of Columbia as well. It would close the so-called boyfriend loophole. So that would stop people who have been convicted of domestic violence from obtaining a firearm. It would also include an expanded background check for people who are under the age of 21 and want to purchase a gun. And it would give grants to states to address mental health concerns. That's something a lot of Republicans have called for because they blame these mass shootings on mental health and not guns themselves. And it would give funding to schools to improve safety. Now, the bipartisan group that worked on this deal said that this plan will save lives and protect the constitutional rights of law-abiding Americans. Again, language there that is important to Republicans. This is a deal in principle. The text still needs to be drafted, but if it holds and makes it through the House, it would be a big deal because no legislation essentially has been passed on the federal level in 30 years. And Nick, I was just on DW yesterday saying that any legislation looks doomed in the Senate. So this appears to be a significant breakthrough.
I remember that conversation with you well, and this feels like a big surprise. But look, as you were saying, this kind of legislation has been called for years. Can you tell us just how did this come about, this surprise deal?
Well, it took a massive outcry after the mass shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas. You mentioned 19 children, 2 teachers were killed in that shooting. And one of the loudest voices was Senator Chris Murphy. He's a Democrat from the state of Connecticut. That state witnessed a horrific mass shooting in 2012 at Sandy Hook. And he said at the time that doing nothing was not an option and that he would be willing to accept incremental change. So he spearheaded this effort. And he and Democrats and the president have made clear this deal certainly is not enough. They want to see more stringent laws. They want to see assault weapons, for example, banned. They want to see safe storage laws for guns stored at home or background checks on gun shows as well. But the devil is in the details here, Nick. We have to see how much money they're actually going to allocate towards this if it passes. And also you have to think about the fact that juvenile background checks might not stop many mass shooters who don't have a previous record. But again, Senator Chris Murphy saying that this incremental change is better than nothing.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, fingers crossed is, I think, the sentiment for many Americans, particularly those who have suffered from all of those mass shootings over the years. Sumi Somaskanda reporting for us from Washington, D.C.